Well, hi everyone, and welcome back to another episode of Geezer Golf with Tony. Today we're going to play some golf holes, and we're going to talk about something that I do quite often. I would say in my almost 50 years of playing golf now, that probably 30 or 40% of it I have played by myself. So we're going to talk about that today. I know a lot of people that say, hey, if I had to play by myself, I wouldn't play at all. So as we go along and we play, we're going to talk about the benefits of playing alone, golf-wise and non-golf-wise, and some other beneficial things that you may get from playing golf alone. So we're on the number 10 tee here at my home course, Sanford Golf Course, and we're going to just play a few holes and talk as we play. So number 10 is a par 4, 340 yards, and normally I wouldn't hit driver here, but we've had a lot of rain and a hurricane, and the ground is very sloppy, and you can tell maybe the grass needs mowing because they haven't been able to get the mowers out as regularly as they should. So I'm gonna hit driver. And no warm-ups, by the way, which is not really a good thing, especially for an old geezer, but we'll just try to take it easy, hit it solid, and get it out there and play. Just over the corner of that tree, but I think it's gonna be fine. So I'm gonna try to hold this camera and talk while I walk along. I haven't done this, so I hope it turns out okay and I'm in the picture. So let's talk a little bit about why play by yourself. Well, it depends on who you are and your reasons for playing golf. But in my case, let's talk about the non-golf reasons first. One really good reason is that, hey, I am a geezer. I need exercise. And this is how I get my exercise. So if I walk 4 to 5 miles 3 or 4 times a week, I'm getting a lot of exercise. So that's one good benefit. And it's not like exercising just in the gym where you're thinking about, when is this going to be over? How much more time do I have? How many more reps do I need? You're actually enjoying yourself as you go along. So that's one of the benefits. So we're just in the right rough here. Not too bad of a lie. And I've got 124 yards to that back pin. I'm going to go with my longer gap wedge, which is a 125-ish yard club, although I don't think it's going to go that far right now. I'm not warmed up and it's a little damp and what have you. So why am I picking that club? My number one rule is don't go over the green. It's hard to make par from over the green. So if I can hit this and just get it to the middle of the green, I've got a birdie putt. You don't always have to take enough club to get to the hole if it presents a danger. You can play to another area. And to me, that's strategy of golf. So we're going to just take this gap wedge. And I've also got a little bit of an obstacle. If you can see these tree limbs that are over here in the way. So I've got just enough room to go by the left side of them and still get on the green or very near it. So that's what we're going to try to do here. Looks pretty good. On the green, good shot. So I like to say when I'm playing golf that I want to plan my shots that feel more stress-free, a shot that I feel good that I can accomplish, even if it's not necessarily going to get close to the hole. As soon as I start feeling uncomfortable over a shot, I'm probably not going to hit it very well. And so that's something you need to think about. Play a shot that you're capable of playing and accept that result, even if it's not close to the hole. To me, that's part of playing golf is your strategy based on your own capabilities. That way you'll avoid the big numbers and the really bad mishits, and you'll hit decent shots. It'll be more enjoyable for you. As I predicted back there, I wasn't going to reach the flag, and I'm 25 feet short. So I have a 25-foot birdie putt. It's uphill at the start and then levels off, and it's going to break right. So we're just going to try to give it a good roll here early in the day. Make sure we get a par first. Actually, I think on second look, I think it's going to be mostly straight. It did tail off just a bit. But a smooth, easy par on the first hole. So while we walk over to 11T, let's talk a little bit more about why I like to play alone sometimes. The non-golf part of it. It's the serenity of it. Other people find this going on a hike, in which I also hike, or going to the mountains and just standing there feeling that euphoric feeling when you're looking down a mountain. Whatever you call it, it's a very nice feeling for me to be out here and at one with myself. And sometimes we'll see nature, animals, what have you. But it's just a serene, calm feeling that I enjoy when I'm playing golf by myself. So I lasered 168 yards to that front pin. My 7-iron is approximately a 170 club, so that's pretty perfect. So we're going to just try to hit another good, smooth, solid shot up there at the hole. Stay still, stay down, make good contact, and accept what it leaves me. That's going a little left. Going to miss the green, but it shouldn't be too far away. We ended up just a little past pin high. And I would say a 35 foot chip. It's a downhill lie here, so that's one small factor. But, you know, if you've been watching my videos and we use the correct chipping technique, this gets pretty easy. So we should be able to get this one down here pretty close. We're going to set up. We're going to make sure our club is aligned with our arm from both directions. We're going to spin on our heels and that opens our hips up, and then we're just going to rock and go through with the hands ahead. There we go. We're about 2 feet. I can tap that in with my wedge. We're now on number 12. One of our tougher par 4s out here because the driving area is so narrow. And it plays 410, but that's back there. So we're probably closer to 400 yards here. And it's a very demanding tee shot. And I don't know if you can see it on the camera, but on the right, about 200 yards out is a huge pine right in line with or just behind that tree line. and then the left. It's probably only 35 yards wide in that whole area. Not the fairway, but just the whole opening. So we're going to try to get one down through there. Oh yeah, we did it. Really good. Starting to come down a little bit. So that almost leads us to another question. Would you play in the rain? And there was a time when I was a younger guy and I was working, I would say, as long as it's not raining too hard, I'll probably play, because the days that I could play back when I was working were limited. But now, as a retired geezer, I'll probably say, no, it's okay. I'll just come back tomorrow or the next day. So, but I have played a lot of golf in the rain in tournaments where they don't, bring you in just because of a little bit of rain. So, but getting back to playing alone, I realize that a lot of you guys live in an area where it's just very crowded on the course and you can't get out there alone. It just doesn't happen. So I understand that. But I'm just saying, if you can, if the course is open, there's a lot of benefits to it. And part of the benefit of playing alone is I'm not trying to play alone, but either my guys aren't playing today or they're playing somewhere else, or for some reason there's no one to play with, I will come on and play anyway. Those are the days I play alone. So it's not that I prefer it, but I enjoy it. Also, being retired, I can't sit around the house all day, not more than I have to in the rain or hurricane. So this gets me out of the house and keeps me active. I do some other things. I have a vegetable garden, and I take care of a 4-acre property. So they keep me busy too. But generally, I don't want to be sitting around any more than I have to. I feel like when you retire, you need something to do or you're going to just wilt away. So that's another benefit, is just getting out of the house and occupying your body and your mind and doing something that you enjoy. Well, as you might can see, it has started to rain. I've got the umbrella out. I'm 150 yards. So for lack of knowing anything better to do here in the rain, I'm just going to take my 150 yard 9-iron, try to hit a solid shot toward the green and see what we get. A little left of the pin, but I think it's pretty good. Yeah, it's on there. So here's a shot of my getup that I'm playing under right now. And because I'm tall, I can't walk very well under that umbrella. I need an extender of some kind. I can duck and get under it and stand up, but then I can't see where I'm going. But it's necessary today. And then this is the thing that I mount the camera on. It's magnetic. I've got a magnetic holder, and I just clip it on there and clip it back off. And I've actually got this little umbrella here. It's a new thing, and it has helped tremendously lately on a hot day, keeping the camera from overheating. So I just open it up and place it right over the camera, and it does a great job. I did just check the radar, and this rain is not supposed to last for more than 10 more minutes. But I tell you, it's something we really do not need right now. We got somewhere between 6 and 10 inches a few days ago from Hurricane Debbie. And then we've had another rain since then. And before the hurricane came, we had a rainy 2 weeks, so we're pretty well saturated. As you can see by places like this on the golf course, it's really wet everywhere. Not everywhere, but in a lot of places. So I'm going to try to stick it out here. And if it doesn't quit raining, the next hole, the green comes up beside the parking lot, and I may bail, but I hope not. I'm enjoying this video because it's like I'm almost like I'm sharing a part of me with you that's not totally golf related. Oh wow, this ball ended up pretty darn close. I'm gonna give you a shot of it here. We're about 3 feet. Okay, so we're at hole number 13, a par 4. The tees are up again, probably 370 from here. The hole plays 380 something from the actual tee marker. It's a little behind us. So again, and it looks like I might see a break in those clouds up there. So again, I'm just going to try to hit a solid drive out there in the fairway and then take what it gives me and go from that. Another really solid drive. It was a little low, so I don't know how much distance I'm going to lose in that wet fairway, but I'm pretty happy with the hit. All right, I'm a good 40 to 50 yards further back than I am on a dry day. And I've got 185 to a back pin, and it's uphill, so I'm going with the 5-iron. Not sure what kind of hit I'm going to get. I would feel real good hitting a 6, but I would probably only get it to the front edge. So I'm going to do my best to just hit this one over the green and see what happens. Although I don't think it's going to go over the green. That's going to be my thought. So I'll make a good positive swing. Yeah, I believe it's just off the right edge or right fringe, but it's a pretty good hit. Okay, so we turned out pretty good here. We're just off the green. And again, I know a lot of you would putt this, but I'm going to chip, and you can't see it on the camera, but from here up to about right here is a slope like this, and I can't let my ball hit into that or it'll just kill it. So I'm going to use the sand wedge and just carry it over that, take that out of play. Same techniques as before, although this time I'm gonna open the face maybe that much to give it a little extra height, and then I've got to allow for that with my alignment because it's going to want to come right off the club. There we go, perfect. A little harder and it would have been in. So I've spoken to you about a lot of the benefits, non-golf benefits that I get out of playing alone. And I don't want you to think by any means that I'm a loner and don't have any friends. I have a lot of friends, and I'm sure quite often they think I would shut up because I tend to be talking. However, I don't mind being alone on the golf course or at home or in the car or anywhere. It doesn't bother me. I think that might mean that I'm comfortable with myself and alone with my thoughts, and I don't feel lonely. So I think this is the 4th hole, and we've got 5 more. And what I'm going to do on the rest of these holes is change gears and talk about what I think playing alone benefits you golf-wise. So we'll get on over to the next tee and talk about that and hit some shots. We finally reached the point where we can lose the umbrella. Barely feel any rain now, so with any luck, I checked the radar and it went on for a little longer than I thought it was, but maybe it's gone for good now. So we're coming up on hole 15. We're going to hit a tee shot here, and then as we walk down, we're going to talk about some benefits golf-wise of playing alone. We're now on hole 15. It's a par 4. I think that says 342. Obviously a very sharp dogleg left with an elevated tee. You can see the 150 post out there, and that's really the target. If I can get to that or past it and just left, that's where you want to be. Even to the right of it's not terrible. You just don't want to do anything stupid and hit it left. That's just the worst thing you can do. So I'm going to go with 5 wood here, and I'm going to hit that draw shot or that hook shot that I tell you about. And again, how are we going to do it? We're going to relax our grip. We're going to turn the club in a little bit and then take our normal grip with it closed. We're going to align the club face where we want the ball to start. Then we're going to align our body to the right of that so that we will hit it from the inside without having to change our swing. So theoretically now, if I had to square face, I would be hitting the ball out here, but because the face is pointing left, that's where it'll go, and then it'll curve left. So let's see how that works out. Well, it curves some, but not as much as I wanted, but it's fine. I'm going to be about 155 from the green. Really, really wet area down here, as you can see from all the rain we've had. It's just some areas of the course are you can't even walk through them. You have to go around them like I'm doing now. Let's talk about some of the benefits that I get golf-wise from playing alone. If you've ever played alone, you probably realize that you tend to play better when you play alone. So why is that? People say, well, yeah, you can cheat, you can move your ball, and I don't move my ball. The reason is it's only you and the game. There are no distractions. There's no one to talk to, no one to move when you hit, no one to say anything. Your mind is totally on what you're doing. That and looking around at nature, but you're at one with nature, so to speak. So that's one reason you play well when you play alone. And it's a great benefit because it allows you to know how well you can play. So, how do you use that? So you either got to accept that you're not going to play as well, or you're going to have to find a way to compartmentalize your game and your friends. And I find that very difficult to do, especially as I get older. So that's one benefit. We'll talk about some more as we go along. You see the flag in line with that pine tree trunk. Middle flag just over the horizon. There's a lot of green to the right of that, I'm sure. So I lasered 155, and I know it's uphill. I don't use the laser's slope calculation, even though it has one, because I found it to not be that accurate, and I do better just by experience. So 155, and it said 3 yards. I'm gonna be more like 6 or 7, so that will put me a little over 160. And I'm gonna go with the 8-iron, which is my 160 club. It should be good enough. Just like always, let's just not try to do too much. Just aim and fire and not be so concerned with what might happen while we're hitting the shot. All we can do is prepare and then swing. And yes, I'm to the right of the flag, but that's where most of the green is. So that should be pretty good. I know this is course knowledge. I know there's a bunker to the left of the flag, and I didn't want to go over there. So you may say, well, Geezer, you're playing away from the flag all day. How are you ever going to make a birdie? That may be true, but I've got to do what I'm comfortable with. And sometimes if you aim at a flag and you know there's trouble nearby, I'm just not comfortable. I get a little tense. And some days I'm hitting it really well and I'll go right at it. But on a day like today, I'm happy to be 20 feet. You'll make a couple putts in the round, and if you're good with your long putts, you want 3 putt. Okay, so we've got about 30, well, we've got 30 feet. I stepped it off, which I do for you guys, just to let you know how long the putt is. When I play golf, I don't care. I just do it by eye, and I don't step them off. Yeah, I don't know what you can learn from that. I have guys doing it. I feel like they're just wasting time, especially when they don't hit a good putt anyway, most of the time. So my eyes tell me this is uphill a little, and it's going to go a little left, maybe. So we're just going to get the speed. Maybe it'll find the hole, and if not, not have any work left over. I think I was a Yankee Doodle there. I think I pulled that in pretty bad. And just another calm par. You plan out your shots, you execute them. They're not perfect, but they're good enough. You make your par, you go on to the next hole. Hole 16, par 5, sharp dog leg left for probably 65 from here. Not that long of a par 5. The dog leg is the challenge. And today, the wetness. As a matter of fact, the tee is pretty sloppy, so I'm going to tell you that I'm about 2 club lengths in front of the tee markers because it's so wet there. You're in a puddle. So the dog leg, on a day like today when it's not going to roll, there's no need to try to cut it. You may end up short of it. So we're just going to, again, try to go down the middle, take what's left. One shot at a time. You know, it's decent. I mean, it's okay. It's not perfect. It's more right than I wanted. It's a little low, but it was solid. And as the young kids say, I'm not mad at it. We'll talk about another benefit of playing alone, and that is that you are more prone to learn what you can and cannot do, or what you are able and not able to do with your golf shots. You're not worried about what anyone else might think. You're not asking them what club did they hit. You're just out here all on your own figuring it out yourself. It's kind of serene. I'm loving today because not that many people are out here. I see a few over there on an adjoining fairway, but I'm enjoying the walk and the golf. And the focus is different when you're alone. I guess that's the phrase I've been looking for. The focus is better because you have no other things to think about. Focus and the concentration. And I think there's a difference. To me, the focus is keeping your mind on what you need to do, plan your shot out, stay in the moment, don't be distracted. That's focus. And concentration, to me, means putting your mind to that and being able to execute it once you figure out what it is. So concentration and focus are really important, and I'm way better at it when I'm playing alone. We got a we've got a back flag on this one. Okay, we're left with 241 yards in the wet, so odds are I'm not going to reach that flag. It's in the back. Possibly could get it on the front part of the green if I nail it. So we're just going to hit a good solid 3-wood toward the green. Check what it leaves us. I'm not sure, I can't see it that well, but I think it's just short. Before that shot, we were talking about focus and concentration. And to me, planning out your shot with no interruption, and it can start happening before you ever get to the ball. And that's what improves me the most, I think, is those shot planning, focus, and concentration with no distraction. And I know you guys have watched a lot of my videos, and most times I shoot around par or a couple under. And I got to tell you, I don't play that well when I'm playing with my buddies. I want to, but it just usually doesn't happen unless I'm somewhere away from home and I'm truly inspired by the course. And why is that? Because of the things I just mentioned and the fact that I've got to talk the shot out to tell you what I'm doing and then go up and execute it. And so I watch the pros on TV and they stand there and talk and talk and talk about the shot. And I'm thinking, why don't you just hit it? Shut up talking and hit it. And now I understand. The better picture that player can have in his mind and the more certainty he has about what he's doing, the more likely he's going to hit that good shot. So that's the biggest benefit of playing alone. And most of the times when I video, I am playing alone because I'm doing everything and it's just hard to do with people walking around in front of the camera and across the green and so forth. So I usually just video when I'm alone. So I have a pitch. It looks like about maybe 40 yards, which means I walloped that three with a good 200 yards. And I'm not sure about the carry. The balls are not carrying as far as they normally do today either, but felt like I hit it pretty good. But you know, here we are. So I've got the flag's in the back, and I've got a lot of green to cover, and the first third of it is leaning back at me. So in order to try to help get it there, I'm going to use a pitching wedge. I could just throw it all the way back there, but I'm going to try this and see if I can help it get there without having to try to hit it so hard. So let's see how this goes. Same technique as always. We're going to get the club in a line from your shoulder down to the club head with no angle here. And we want it in line here as though you were holding it like this down on the end. We're going to maybe a little bit wider a stance because it's a longer motion, longer shot, and we're going to turn on our heels. Then we're just going to rock. We're going to allow our hips to move a little bit if they need to, but we're not going to think about it. We're just going to let it do what it wants to do. Try to run this ball back there. Oh, that's looking real good. Go in. Whew, that's about 6 inches. Well, my apologies. It wasn't 6 inches, it's a foot. So that'll be another birdie. And we go to 2 under. Okay, so once again, well, I missed the tee shot. That's my error. Got to turn the camera on. So I hit a good tee shot and it's farther back than normal. And you got to expect that in a sloppy, wet golf course. So the laser says that the flag is 163. And I'm going to add the next 7 because it's uphill. And so I'm going with 7 iron. And again, nothing special, just aim it, execute your swing, take what you get. Try not to have much expectations of what the ball is going to do. Have expectations of what you're going to accomplish with your swing. Oh, that was right. Ooh, a little bit right now, but it was nailed. Oh yeah, perfect. Just a little right of the hole over there. Maybe 12 feet, 10 feet. Well, it is about 10 feet. I'm downhill. Should break left. It's just hard to tell how much, as wet as the greens are and how much moisture they have on them. I would think it's got to come some. I'm going to look from the other side. After all this stalking around, I think it's going to be pretty straight. I'm going to just kind of play it on the right lip, my right lip, and see if we can get it to go in. Yes. Okay. I'm glad I made that because we don't get many chances like that on this hole. So this is a par 5 and the hole goes out, straight out, and then to the left left of that cart path you see in the distance, and then back to the right. That bunker you see in the distance is not a fairway bunker. It's about 50 yards short of the green. So just like all day, we're gonna aim down the middle, do the best we can, and go from there. Right of center, but on a day like today, that's fine. Meaning, had it been a dry day and a further left, I could have a chance to go for it in two. But I don't think that was going to happen today, no matter where I hit it. Okay, as usual, my good drive is well behind where it normally is when it's dry. So I'm so far away, I'm not going to measure. I'm just going to hit a good 3-wood up there and take whatever pitch it leaves me. No need to do anything crazy now. Last hole, and I am under par. A really good hit. And that's all I wanted. In the case of that shot, how well I hit it was more important than the direction it went in, because I couldn't reach anyway. So I hit it really well. So we're left with about a 40-yard pitch here uphill. Green is going to be at us. I know the ball's not going to move much after it hits the ground. We're going to try to get it all the way there. Same as the chip, setup and all, except the wider stance. And we're going to move our body, but the motion is the exact same thing. It's just longer. So we're going to allow the body to move. So we won't really be turning our toes way in like we do on chips. We're going to let the body move ahead of the club and the hands stay ahead. That looks really good. Let's go up there and see. Well, it's not as good as it looked from back there. And if you can see, as I said back there, I was going to stop quick. The ball marks right here. It just doesn't release. Even when it's dry, the grain's growing that way. It's a into the hill lane. You have an uphill lie down there. All factors indicate that it's not going to run. Sometimes I hit that chip with a gap wedge. Probably should have today. So we've got about a 12-footer here, a little bit uphill. Looks like it's going to come left. I'm going to give it about 3 inches, 2 to 3 inches right, if it'll come in for us. I didn't really move at all, hardly any. Still a good par and a good 9 of 3 under. I'll tell you, I'm going to have to start shooting some over par rounds on camera, but as I explained, I tend to play better golf on camera than I do off camera with my buddies. I haven't played any golf by myself without videoing in quite a while, so I don't know how that's going to be. But again, the fact that I'm talking everything out and planning out is, I think, a benefit that I don't do when I'm just playing with my buddies. So if you get a chance, try and play a few rounds by yourself. Think about what you're doing. Plan your shot out. Talk it out. You can even verbalize it. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you learned something from it.